Hey guys, what is going on? Thank you very much for coming back to the channel. Wow, well, they're coming thick and fast now, aren't they? These FM18 videos, Sports Interactive, quickly following up the Dynamics video with a video all about scouting. I'm a little bit late to the party in doing a video on this. Unfortunately, they caught everyone unawares and it was just a day when I wasn't able to record. So, the scouting, absolutely huge changes to it. It's a complete overhaul, as was mentioned in the video. It now apparently mirrors how clubs do it in real life. Sports Interactive have been working in real life with real life clubs to get it as accurate as possible, as realistic as possible, and it looks like it's making it a more in-depth, more detailed, more vital part of the game in FM18. Should we have a look at some of the screenshots then? So you see here, this is the scouting center then. This is where you create your assignments. This is where you search for players. This is where you have your shortlist and your world knowledge. So again, they're using Watford as their team. You can see it says at the top there, they've got 5 out of 5 scouts on assignments. World knowledge is currently 14%, which is maybe a little bit low for a Premier League club, but probably not too bad for a club of that size. So you can change who's responsible for the scouting. So it's set to the manager on this, but you can change who runs the scouting setup, which is quite nice. You've got your assignments tab, your recruitment team tab, and then your scouting budget, which again has been mentioned in this video is crucial. It's absolutely vital that you get that right, because increasing your scouting budget will decrease your transfer budget. So if you spend a lot of money going looking for players, you might not have enough to sign the ones that you find. So here we've got in the main bit of the screen, and you've got this scouting inbox, and one of your scouts has delivered a report on a player here. There's a lot of information. The knowledge level there just under the player picture says how much is needed to scout the player up to 100%. So you can see you've also got a number in a magnifying glass there that is telling you how suitable a signing they are. It's out of 100. And as the knowledge level goes up, that number can fluctuate. It could get better, it could get worse, depending on what they find out as they're scouting. And you've got your options at the bottom, haven't you? You've got your current ability, your potential ability, the cost, whether they're interested or not, and then you can go in, get an analyst report, keep the scout watching them, discard, which I assume just means forget about him totally, acknowledge, and then you've got add to shortlist, make offer, and add as transfer target. Over on the right there, of course, you've just got what package you're using, what youth package you're using, then a little map of the world showing where your knowledge is good. It looks like it's on a traffic light system there, and your transfer budgets and things, and your transfers that you've done. So again, the running theme of these FM18 screens that we've looked at, a lot of information in a very, very clean interface. I love it. It is really, really nice. So this is something that's going to come up in your inbox as well. Apparently, you can set the frequency of how often you get these. They will increase in frequency during a transfer window, and it's getting scouting reports as you would. You get one every now and again, don't you? At the minute, you get a list of the players that you're scouting and things like that. But this actually gives you on your inbox screen there a full-on report of whoever it is that you're out scouting at the moment. And again, it's just great, isn't it? It's very clean, and you can just look at a glance. You don't have to go in to look at his profile. You can see exactly how suitable he is as a signing for you. You can see how much knowledge they have of the player. You can see everything you need to see right from your inbox, and that is a massive step forward. There's no clicking through menus or anything like that. It's just great. So again, in scouting, there are 2 types now. There's general, which is more longer term, and then you've got short term. So the general is where you can set it within your scouting range. So presumably the package that you've got, you can for like a one-off fee, you can go outside of that range, which could be useful if you're struggling to, especially if you're lower down or you've got smaller budgets for scouting. If you're struggling to bring up a player that's suitable, you can get on on a one-off mission to try and find someone a little bit further afield. You can set their age, their player style, the goalkeeper style, and availability if it's end of contract or now or next transfer window, things like that. And then you've got the short term, and this is if you're desperate. If you're coming up to the end of a transfer window, you haven't got time to do a full scouting thing, just say to your scout, get out there, find me this player, this position, this ability, go. And hopefully you will get a suitable player very, very quickly. Of course, if you're leaving it to needing a short-term scout, it could be a bit of bad planning on your part there, couldn't it? But yeah, great. It just adds so much depth to the game. I'm really excited about this now. So you've got your scouting budget here, and you can see it's on a slider, same, and it's exactly the same as your transfer budget to wage budget. So it's scouting budget to transfer budget. Move it towards scouting budget, and of course your transfer budget goes down, and vice versa. So it's going to be really important that you marry the two together. That you don't overstretch yourself on scouting, as I said earlier, to mean that you can't afford the players that you find. So you've really, really got to plan. You've got to think about where you're going to scout and who you're looking for. And it's going to add an awful lot of realism, probably a fair bit of frustration as well, but it's just superb. And this is the player search screen. So this looks really good as well. You can see you've got the little trading card element there, haven't you, for the positions they play in. If you're using a top-end package, you've got good scouts and everything, it will show you the preferred role under the position. If you're using a lower package, you're lower down, it's not going to show you that. So you'll only know that they're a central midfielder, but you may not know what sort of role they play in that position. So you would then presumably have to go in and do a big scouting assignment on that player if he was one that looked like he was something that you might want. Again, an awful lot of information on the screen, but it's easily digestible, isn't it? You can see you've got the senior packages for World. You've got the recruitment team showing you that you've got 7 scouts, but 1 is unassigned. You've got your scouting budget, which I presume you've got 2 numbers there. So I presume the bigger one is what you start the season with, and then the smaller one is what you've got left. Would make sense. Then you've got your transfer and wage budgets. And yeah, it looks so much better than it is now, where it's just a list of names and positions and values and things like that. It pops, doesn't it? You know exactly what you're looking at. These are the scouting packages then that we mentioned in the first video of the features, and this is on the left. You've got your senior packages, on the right your youth packages, so you can have a different level for each. If you're desperate to bolster your senior squad, then you would spend more money looking there. And if you haven't got a lot of money, or if you're a club or a manager that likes to bring youth players through, you might spend more money on youth packages. But you've got that flexibility now. They're totally independent of each other, and they both are going to have their advantages, have their disadvantages. You're gonna work it out yourself how you go about this. You're going to find out what works for you. But again, I just love it. It adds so much depth and so much realism. It's brilliant. And all these videos that are coming out are absolutely great. They really are. So we've got this one as well. This is a scouting report on a player. The big window, it shows the positives and then negatives. It's things like career appearances, I guess maybe goals, things like that in there. Negatives are what he's not so good at, or what he's not ranking so well at, but little bit, you've got to take that with a little bit of a pinch of salt looking at it, because the player they're looking at, Callum Kennedy of AFC Wimbledon, is a left back. So the fact that he's playing 167 games, to me, stands out, because that means he's consistent, he's reliable, and he does a job. Whereas the negatives, it's going on interceptions and headers. And as a left back, you wouldn't really expect him to be at the top, anywhere near the top of the list there, would you? Because he's out on, he's on the fringes of the play. He's not involved in the middle. So you kind of got to be careful, a little bit wary of those, I feel. Up in that big green box, it says currently operating at a decent Premier Division level would be a good signing. If he's playing for AFC Wimbledon and he's playing at a Premier Division level, it'd be a hell of a signing. So you can see the season stats there as well in that lovely box. You've got the average rating and the matches they've played, how many player of the matches, the distance, how many passes they've attempted and tackles, and how many they've made. It's just fabulous. It's so much information just at a glance. You immediately know if this player is for you. And this is one thing that I really like as well. This is your next opposition report, and this is something, I mean, it's something that's niggled at me, and it's something that I've never actually voiced. It's when you get the report, or when you see the opposition, how they're lining up against you, you just see the players in their positions. You have no idea what role they're playing, especially when it comes to like wingers. You don't know if they're playing as wingers or inside forwards. You have to actually go in and look at that player and see whether they're right-footed on the right wing or left-footed on the right wing, and see, so you can figure out for yourself what role they're playing. But this, it tells you what role they play, and again, it just looks beautiful. It's just immediately pops out at you. You know exactly what you're coming up against, and you can maybe try and come up with a plan against it. Coming up against that sort of formation, you would probably go for wingers and fullbacks or wing backs and try and pin their wide players back, wouldn't you? And definitely wouldn't go through the middle, because there's 7 players to get through if you do. But it just looks brilliant. It's such a great adjustment to a vital piece of the game, and it's just everything. You've got the data analysts now actually have their attributes of what they need, so you know how good they are when you're hiring them, which is superb. One thing they said as well, actually, wasn't it, was that free agents might actually approach you to join your club if they feel that they will fit in, which I think is a really cool little addition, because players, if they're out of contract, they do reach out to clubs. They do put their name about. They don't wait for the phone to ring. They get themselves out there and look for a club. And if you start getting players knocking on your door, you can give them a trial. You might not have even known they were available. They might have just totally slipped through the net, and you can get in there and you can give them a trial and maybe snap up a player that is really going to strengthen your team that you didn't know was available, which is brilliant. And it's just the whole thing. We're probably about 2.5 weeks from the beta, somewhere around that, and about 4.5 weeks from the main game, from the full release. I've got a feeling this is going to drag. I cannot wait for this game to come out now. I'm really looking forward to the next few videos. I'm sure there's going to be... I was thinking there was only going to be one a week, and that was the general consensus. It now looks like there may be another 4 or 5 possibly. If they're doing 2 or 3 a week, we could have quite a few more to come yet. So it will be really interesting to see what else they reveal. As they say at the end of every video, they want you to find out everything in the game, so they're not going to give away everything. The things that we've probably got to look at still are hopefully big changes to training, and then there would be obviously the match engine, the gameplay, the big part of it. I don't know if you saw, Miles tweeted a little video of the new data analyst camera, and it looked just beautiful. It was zoomable. It just looked really good. You got the whole pitch in. He thinks that's a 2D killer. We'll have to wait and see. I couldn't play in 2D anymore. That's just dead to me. But that data analyst camera looks really, really good. Come on, beta. I want it now. Okay, well, that is it for this one, guys. That is scouting done. That is scouting covered. It just looks like that, and the dynamics. At some point, you might actually get out onto the pitch before you found players that'll fit your dressing room, dealt with the dressing room itself. It's a true management sim this time, this new game. It's a huge leap forward for the series. It's far, far more advanced than anything that's gone before it, and it's stepping it up 2-3 levels, I think, this time around. I cannot wait to get on it now. I'm sure you're the same. Get involved in the comments below. Let me know what sort of saves you're thinking of doing during FM18. Are you looking at just doing one the whole way through? Are you going to do multiple different ones? You know, do you have more than one going at the same time? Just let us know. Get involved. Let me know what you're going to be doing. If you've got any ideas for saves that you might want me to do, that you'd maybe like to watch, then, you know, drop a comment. I've got some ideas, but if someone suggests a better one, then I would do that. We are sorted for the beta, I think. I know what I'm going to be doing, but I'll release a video nearer the time to say what I'm going to be doing on that. But for now, guys, I'd love you to smash a like on this, subscribe if you haven't already, I will see you very soon for another video about FM18, and it's only a few weeks away. Bring it on. See you later.